If you're under 25 and you're struggling with social anxiety disorder, you need to take action fast. You're in a unique window of opportunity before the age of 25 when the brain is at peak neuroplasticity. That means that you're in the best possible position to rewire your brain and start overcoming social anxiety. In this video, I'm going to break down 6 steps that you can start implementing immediately that are going to get you big results fast and help you overcome social anxiety disorder. But if you're new to the channel and you're wondering who the heck is this guy, my name is Ed Barton. I'm a professional anxiety coach and I used to be a Buddhist monk in Japan. I struggled with social anxiety disorder for decades myself before I overcame it at the age of 32, and I now use all of my personal experience combined with my training as a Zen monk to help anxiety sufferers overcome their issues too. But before we go any further, if you want help one-on-one working with me to help you overcome your social anxiety, then click the link in the description below this video. We can jump on a free anxiety roadmap call and we will sketch out a concrete path to get you out of your anxiety. So hit that link and we can jump on a call. The first thing you need to do if you want to overcome social anxiety disorder is you need to stop consuming toxic content. We're at a unique juncture in history at the moment where society is very confused. People are pushing back against mainstream narratives, and to fill this gap, a lot of strong men characters have come in to try to lead young men. Some of these messages are very toxic. I see a lot of stuff online about red pill, blue pill, black pill, toxic masculinity, and even lots of stuff about the modern dating situations. So I coach guys in their early 20s who are giving up on life. They're giving up on the idea of dating. They don't look like Andrew Tate. They don't have a Bugatti or a Lamborghini, so they think they don't have a chance. They think they don't have a chance in the dating marketplace because they're not 6'5" and work in finance. There's a lot of toxic messaging online at the moment. And this can even be in places like Reddit, which I basically see as a kind of cesspool of doom and self-pity. Lots of people wallowing on forums like Reddit. People at the age of 22 talking about how their life is over, so they've chosen to just give up on sex, give up on socializing, and are just going to self-isolate for the rest of their life. This really infuriates me. It's ridiculous. You're basically still a child at 22. Your brain is highly plastic. You can make any changes in your life that you want. So please stop consuming this toxic online content. This also includes lots of news. I see young guys that I coach who are being very influenced by lots of political information that they consume, lots of news. This creates anxiety. It creates a lot of concern about the future. They don't know if there's going to be World War III. They don't know if there's going to be more war in the Middle East. It makes people extremely uneasy and it just leads to anxiety. Overconsumption of news is well known to spike anxiety. So please stop consuming this kind of online content. The second point, which is related to this, is to just get offline and get out in the real world. If you believe what you see in the media, you think that people are extremely hostile, that if you're a guy, women are not going to speak to you, that there's a big divide between the genders, that there's a big divide between left and right, that the world is on a knife edge and everything's going to explode at any moment. But when you step out of your front door and you go out into the real world, you realize that people are pretty much as they have been for generations. Although there is a breakdown in socializing and people are less pro-social these days, I find, generally, people are still good. We are wired for connection. We are wired to make each other happy and to be good to each other. So do not just buy into what you see online. Get out into the real world and you'll find that things are not as you see portrayed in all this doom scrolling and all this doom media that you're seeing. And this includes getting your feet on the ground in reality, going out, joining face-to-face communities, joining hobby groups, joining networks. Just get out of your house. I coach too many young guys who are spending way too much time online by themselves indoors. It's extremely unhealthy. If you have an online job, go to a coffee shop and work or join a co-working space, please. It's really unhealthy to be isolated all of the time. We are social primates. We are hardwired for connection. So please just get out of the house, join groups, join communities, join co-working spaces. I know this sounds difficult if you're very anxious at the moment, but start small and just build up. Even just go and sit in the library and work. Go somewhere where you're around people and you're just out of the house. Get out into the real world and get offline. Number 3, which will make a huge difference to your life, and that is to challenge yourself every single day to speak to people. This can be just having a bit of small talk in the grocery store or when you go to buy your coffee. Just try to add a little bit to the interaction. Just ask the cashier or whoever it is that you're speaking to, how's your day going? Just try to add a little bit. When you're in an elevator, nowadays people seem to have lost the skill to even speak to each other when they stand in an elevator. Just say hello to the person in the elevator, ask them how their day is. You will get a rush of oxytocin, which is released when you're in social communication. This is what we're wired for, this is what we're evolved for. So please push yourself to just say a little bit each day to people that you meet going about your daily business. Number 4 is to create routines that are sustainable and kind to yourself. I coach a lot of guys who are very into human optimization. They follow stuff by Andrew Huberman, all of this great stuff. But because of the enthusiasm and the zeal of youth, what I often see with them, which is something I did myself, is that they will push themselves too hard. They will try to have the perfect day where they get up at 5 a.m, they fast until lunchtime, they do their ice bath, they do their sauna, they do all of these optimized routines. But then the next day they will fall off their habits quite severely and crash and go on a dopamine binge, eating sugary foods, watching pornography. So you need to consider your overall dopamine landscape. If you are giving yourself too much stick, you are going to seek out some carrot. You are going to look for reward. That's just how the reward circuitry in the brain is wired. So please be kind to yourself. Don't be so self-punishing. And this is a common trend I see among younger guys that I coach. They are very harsh with themselves. The basis of any change should be self-compassion. We're looking for evolution, not revolution. But as young guys, we often get excited by this kind of boyish transformation arc. We want everything to happen overnight, but it's not sustainable. I've done this myself. I used to get up at crazy hours, go ice bathing in the morning and all this kind of stuff, but the next day I would fall off. So make it more gentle, make it more sustainable. If that means that you have to give yourself a little bit of time on social media or a sugary snack, whatever it is, try and make it healthy, try and make it in moderation. Maybe you'll have a handful of dates rather than going for the chocolate bar. Maybe you'll just give yourself 10 minutes on YouTube as a reward after doing your work. Understand yourself, work with yourself rather than against yourself, and don't push too hard, because it's like a coiled spring. The more you repress your urges and really punish yourself with a very harsh regime, it will rebound back. And that's what I see time and time again, and guys get very frustrated, and their routines are just this series of extreme peaks and extreme troughs. We really want a more consistent middle ground, so please think about that in your training to overcome social anxiety in your daily habits. Number 5 is to rediscover old friendship groups and hobbies. What I've seen as a general trend is that because of social media and the amount of time we spend on our phones, people have lost touch with friends. They've become isolated because of their social anxiety. They no longer pursue the hobbies and the interests that they used to. It's all been taken over by just scrolling online and consuming online content. So if you have a dormant friendship network that you've lost contact with, please try to reactivate it. Take that brave step of just reaching out and sending a message. If you have lost track and lost touch of your hobbies, which you used to enjoy, whether it's reading, playing basketball, playing tennis, whatever it might be, please try to rediscover those, because it's so good for the mind and body. It will plug you back into networks where you can meet other people who have the same interests, and it's just so much healthier to spend time with friends that you may have lost contact with, or to be out following a hobby or an interest that you're interested in, rather than just passively scrolling through online content. And number 6 is to set goals for your life. This is something I didn't even discover till I was 32, and I have always said that a massive part of overcoming anxiety is to have goals. And I've read recently in some excellent books that this is also backed up by science. People who have goals and a vision and a purpose for their life are much less prone to slip into depression and anxiety. Your anxiety issues become diminished in comparison to your bigger vision for your life. So please, if you're under 25, please get out a notepad and a pen and start sketching out a vision for your life, where you want to go, because this will really give you enthusiasm each day. It will give you a clear path that you want to follow, and it will help inoculate you and bulletproof you against these setbacks and falling into rumination and worrying about these more trivial things, like what you think you did wrong in an interaction, or what you said to that cashier and how embarrassing it is. This is not so important when you have a bigger vision and purpose for your life. And also, if you can build in a kind of vision for something which serves other people and is bigger than yourself, that even further boosts your well-being and reduces your anxiety, because as humans we are wired to be pro-social, to serve others, and this boosts our well-being even more. So please sketch out 5-year goals, 3-year goals, 1-year goals, 6 months goals, even a really long-term goal for where you want to be when you're 50. And that will give you the enthusiasm and drive each day, rather than just passively falling into a black hole of YouTube, X, Twitter, Pornhub, whatever it is. You have a drive and a vision and a purpose and a goal to head for. Start implementing these 6 steps right away and you're going to see massive progress. If you need more help, you can always check out these videos on my channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.